Well, right now, if there were enhanced bail supervision approaches, I mean, certainly there have been recommendations for years for things like bail houses, and I know that Elizabeth Fry Society and John Howard Society and others across the country, and not just in this community, but throughout the province and nationally, have looked at some of those sorts of approaches. Wherever they have been tried, they have been more successful than keeping someone in prison. It allows people to work on the very issues that may have caused them to be face criminalization in the first place, and assist them to actually focus on those issues and address whatever harm they may have caused as well. And so we should be looking at those approaches first and foremost. We should also be looking at why are people being imprisoned if essentially it is because there aren't other places for them to go. So not just bail supervision, but people with mental health issues, people who are essentially there because there is no other place for them to go. We should be investing in the community to provide places for them to go, not accepting that our prisons can be used as homeless shelters or as places of treatment or places to confine those who have mental health issues. There are other resources. If they're not available in the community, they need to be made available, because then they'll benefit not just those who are currently locked in Ottawa-Carleton Detention Centre or facing that risk, but those who are in the community as a whole and benefit the community as a whole. Well, you can always enhance the living conditions. I mean, one of the best ways is to ensure that human rights are supported. But really, what we fundamentally need to do is look at what the heads of corrections said in the mid-90s. They said, not me, not you, not academics, but the people who are in charge of corrections more than 20 years ago felt that we could release up to 75% of the people who were then in prison and not increase the risk to public safety. If they thought that, my guess is, in their heart of hearts, people running corrections now know that still, then we could be looking at investing the resources that are now being spent on keeping them incarcerated in the community. Then there would be a much smaller group in prison, and then we should focus on what caused them to be there in the first place. And if there are issues that could be dealt with in the community, I would argue we should be dealing with them in the community with those resources, building supports around them that benefit them and therefore the entire community. And if there are people who, for whatever reason, we don't know what else to do with, at the very least, they should be being kept in an environment where their rights are not violated, but where their rights are upheld. And that means that we should be providing the best opportunities for them to live their lives and to contribute to the community in whatever the way they can, through whether it's getting an education, whether it's providing supports to the people who have relied upon them, or even providing supports to the people who they may have harmed in the past. There are much better ways that we could be doing things if we just thought about it in a more thoughtful way and really thought about if what we're trying to do is prevent harm and redress harm, then we should be doing things in a different way. Our criminal law is supposed to be a standard of behavior that we all live up to. And so if we want it to be that, then we should be ensuring that those who are administering the prisons are also living up to those standards of behavior and honoring things like our Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms.